Hi guys, it's Angela Molson352 and I'm here with another process video, and this one is of a picture of my husband and myself. We went out to the corner saloon near our home after I had spent a long day working on taxes, and so I really needed a beer at that point, and so my hubby obliged and we went down to the corner saloon. So that's the photo. We took a selfie of ourselves. We're having a good time. And I'm just putting it on this turquoise paper from my stash. And then this wood grain paper is from the Die Cuts with a View vintage collector. And I have several items from that collection, so I'll be using the stickers and stuff from that as well. This is a Cocoa Daisy paper that I got from my kid, a Cocoa Daisy exclusive. And I'm going to put it on this white cardstock, and I'm going to put a stencil behind it. So I've kind of got that in my mind as I'm cutting out these layers. I really love these cameras on the vintage collection stack, and so I wanted to use that as a mat as well and bring some of those cameras in. A lot of it will get covered up, but you'll still see some poking out from the side. And so now I'm just trying to figure out my layers and how all that's going to go. I haven't really got anything fixed in my mind yet as to how I'm going to lay it out. So the stencil I'm going to use on the background is the last one that I got from Saw at Saw Crafters. Thank you, Saw. And I just have some Versamark ink, and I'm just going to pounce it kind of into the stencil. And I'm using just a cosmetic wedge. I just have a bag of them. And the only bad thing about the cosmetic wedges is they do start to kind of shed a little bit after a while. So the foam pads from like Tim Holtz and stuff are better, but I don't have very many of them, so I just make do with this. So I just put some at the top, and I'm going to put some down here on the bottom, just kind of cascading from left to right, corner to corner. And I really wish I would have had a mint green I could have used, but I don't have any mint. I'm going to have to maybe pick up one company's ink pad in mint. I don't know who to choose. I have a few of a lot of different manufacturers, but I don't really have any favorites. So, and most of the ones I've gotten have just been like ones at Tuesday Morning or something. So anyhow, there I'm cleaning off my stencil, and so I was glad to get that out and use it. I know Jane got the same stencil. Jane, have you used your stencil yet? So just cleaning off my work surface here. Like I said, that the cosmetic wedges kind of shed a little bit when you use them, but I'm liking that so far. And I'm cutting down that mat just to be, I want a little bit of the different colors from it showing, but I didn't want too much of it on there. So I think I'm going to kind of go with that and leave a little more of that camera paper sticking out on the right hand side so you can still see that it's cameras. And then I have those camera chipboard stickers that match the paper, so I definitely want to bring some of those in. And then I have this sticker pack from the same collection, so I'm just kind of thumbing through that, looking for a few pieces that I want to pull out. So I'm going to use those to tuck in amongst my layers, or to kind of follow that left to right diagonal. And this is another paper that I've got in a Cocoa Daisy kit, and it's a Bow Bunny paper, and I just want that teal chevron-y piece off the edge, because the back of that paper I really like too. It's got kind of a water theme on the other side, and so I want to save some of that to use. But I just wanted something, you know, a little bit stronger horizontal, and so I'm just cutting some fishtails in the ends, and then I'm kind of liking that. So I think I'm going to start adhering some of the layers together. And I love that deep wood grain. I think I used the other sheet of that already, so this is my last sheet of it. And then I only put adhesive down the middle so I can tuck some stuff, because I'm not exactly sure how that's all going to go together. And the same way with that. And I've kind of left them askew. I'm not really paying too much attention to how straight everything is. I kind of want it to be a little bit wonky, so. And there I wanted to slip that underneath, but I still wanted quite a bit of it showing and covering up the brown. So I'm having a little bit of a hard time slipping it under there and not letting the adhesive get it stuck together. So I'm liking that. And I put some pop dots under each end of that banner to kind of lift it up, or I'm going to, I guess. Yeah, here I'm going to put the pop dots on there. I wind up taking it back off later because it just was making it poke up too much and everything. And I put one under a corner. You'll see me put one under a corner later too, and I wind up peeling that off as well. So, but I wanted to give it a try to see if that extra dimension would be something good. And so I'm going to use this Good Times sticker off the sticker sheet, and also that Laugh Lots. I like that it, you know, brings a little bit of the dark colors and the black down in there. I like that Heart You, and also that little banner. And I'm thinking about using that Today sticker, but I don't think it winds up making it on here. And then I didn't realize there was actually 2 sheets of those chipboard camera stickers in there. I thought there was just 1 sheet, so that was kind of a pleasant surprise to get 2 sheets of them. So I'm just cutting out a couple of them so I can play with them and see where I want them on the page. And I'm liking it so far. And here's where I think, well, I've got the banners up with pop dots. Maybe I'll just stick one underneath that edge, and then, yeah, so I go for a thin one to put under there, but later I know I'll be pulling that off. So on this Heart You, I didn't want it to be square, so I thought I would just cut it out of the sticker sheet. So I like the kind of top note shape of it. So I'm just trimming it without the white, and that way I can kind of move it around on the page and see where I like it. And the same way with this banner, I didn't want it to be just square either. I love the shape of it with the ribbon curling around like that and making it have 3 sides. I want to write some words on each of the little banner pieces, so I thought I would just trim it out but still leave a little bit of a black edge, so I didn't have to be too precise with it, but it just makes it not square. So I'm just kind of playing where I think it looks the best on the page. There's, at this point, a lot of moving around as I can't make up my mind. So I'm thinking about that, and I'm kind of thinking that I want to put my title up along the top. So I'm kind of leaving that space open. So I commit to that label, and now I'm going to spend a little bit of time here playing around with this bottom cluster. I guess because I want them to kind of fill the gap between that border strip and stuff, but I don't want them to look like just one column of things. I want them to be a little staggered. So I'm just playing around with it. So I'm liking that, so I go ahead and peel the backing off of that and stick that down underneath. And then I'm going to put the camera there and kind of line it up to the same angle as the Good Times. And here's where I decide that I don't want that pop dot under the corner. So I take that off, and then I'm kind of liking that with the camera askew, so I put the camera down, but it's still, they're kind of lining up as a column a little bit too much, so I think I reposition them here later. I couldn't get the backing off of that once I had trimmed it. Without having fingernails, it makes it kind of hard to do that. So I want the camera at an angle, and there I pulled the pop dot off that side so the camera could sit down on there. But I'm still not really liking that cluster. So I don't know where I am now. I'm off to get something. Oh, letter stickers. So I'm thinking about, I'll do my title and then I'll come back to that cluster and see how it goes. I wasn't sure that was, the aqua matched really well, but I was thinking that just might be too much aqua color on that layout. It was starting to get a little too monochromatic, so I pulled out some brown that I thought would go, and then the pink, but the pink font was just too thick, too fat, short and fat. Those corrugated ones are perfect, but like I said, I didn't want too much aqua on there, so I decided to go with these pink ones that just came in my Cocoa Daisy kit. I think it came in the last kit, but it didn't have an @ symbol in the pink colored kit, so I went with these, I think these are the Dear Lizzie aqua ones just for the @ symbol, because I want the title to be Good Times at the Corner, and the corner is what we call the Corner Saloon near where I live. And although they changed the road and took out the corner and made it a traffic circle, so but everybody still calls it the Corner Saloon, so I just want to be Good Times at the Corner. So I kind of rip that, so I can, what I do is I save those pieces of sticker backing from other stickers, or like that is some of the backing off the Zot. I get a box of Zots, and then I just save that to use to position my letters, because I always forget when I go to the store to actually buy some wax paper. I need to get some wax paper so I can move stuff around a little easier. And then I'm thinking about stamping this camera down on the background paper in a couple spots. So I do a test, and I just don't really think it's going to turn out on that textured cardstock with as intricate as the images, so I get rid of that idea. And plus, I'm not sure that I'm that brave to stamp on a layout that's almost done. Unlike Glitter Girl, I'm not quite as brave as she is. So I'm looking at these Scraptastic stamps that just came in my last kit, and I love some of the sentiments, but I probably should have stamped them sooner rather than now, so I decide not to do any more stamping. And I don't have any ink that matches in order to do sprinkles on the layout, so I decide I've got all these extra sequin out of my Scraptastic kits, and I never use all of it, so now I've been amassing these bags of sequin, and so I decide I'm going to use those just like ink droplets. So I'm picking through to find colors that I want, but for some reason it is just very staticky, and they're sticking on my fingers, they're sticking on the background, I'm just having myself a time. So you'll have to bear with me as I try to flick them off my fingers, and then I knew as I kept dumping them out it was going to be a fight to get them back in that bag. But because I wanted to pick through the colors, I needed to be able to kind of sort through them. And so they are, the static electricity was just bad, and I need to get one of those little anti-static baggies that you kind of like brush onto things before you do like your embossing and stuff. I've seen people use them, and now with the problem with these sequins, I know why they use it. So that might be something. I've heard some people say a dryer sheet or something will take care of that. I need to save a couple old dryer sheets so I can just maybe wipe them on my hands or wipe them on the paper or something, because this is not making me like using sequin or want to use sequin again, and I have a lot of them, so I need to use them. So I picked out the colors that I liked, and I think now I'm finally starting to get frustrated with them sticking everywhere on me. I can't get them off my fingers. And so I'm going to stick these down with some glossy accents because that seems to work the best. And still trying to get them off of me. And now I think I'm clearing out, because my glossy accents, you know, it always dries closed, and so you have to get a pin or something to get it open again. So there I go, kind of putting it on the page and then just sitting the sequin on top of it. And that worked good. I mean, because I had them and everything, they're not as easy as just putting droplets on there. And I'm not sure, I don't know, this will be, you know, a test to see how well I've put sequin on some other layouts and that have gone into albums, so I need to go back in my albums and look and see how well those sequins are staying on the page, or if they've all fallen to the bottom of the page protector, because if they're not really long term, then I'm probably not going to continue using them this way. I might use them by sewing them onto a layout or something like that. But if they just fall off, then forget it. I'd rather just, you know, buy some different colors of ink and sprinkle them on. So there I was pulling that last pop dot off because I just decided I didn't like it underneath the corner there, and stuck those on. And now where I had those pop dots kind of popping up the edges of the banner, I went ahead and just adhered them down permanently. So it's like, okay, forget popping them up, I'm just going to stick them down. So that's pretty much the layout. Now I'm looking for a pen. I'm going to do some journaling. I wanted to do it in a different color, so I chose a couple pens. I had a hot pink Sharpie, and then I had a Slick Writer, and so I tested them to see how I liked the color, and the Sharpie was just a little bit too dark. I liked the lighter color of the Slick Writer, but I should have tried, instead of just doing a scribble, actually writing in my handwriting, because they're a little fat, and so it's not as easy to read the writing as I would like. So in hindsight, I wish I would have just used a fine tip black pen to write this, because it would have been way more legible, like a black Sharpie or something. And so I wrote on there and did my journaling, and so that is it. I'm going to do some close-ups here of the finished layout, and so hopefully I did a little better keeping this whole movie in frame this time. So I'm just going to keep practicing on doing these voiceovers, and there you have it. If you have any questions or anything, just leave me a comment below, and thanks for watching. Bye.